Linda. Parmeni.
Let's be honest.
Hey, man. Where's Prince Kaybee, man? Tell me where his fucking room is, man.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to it. It's a special edition of Podcast and Chill. Hanging out. Are you the sexiest man in SA?
Fuck out, no ways.
You gotta be Naak Musiq,
Bro,
come on.
dog, I agree to this.
Yeah?
I've got to work out every day of my life.
Yeah.
Because one day I take off my shirt and they're going to say, this nigga said he was the sexiest. So fuck no, I'm not. I'm not sexy at all.
But you know, I hate niggas like you, dog.
Like what,
Fucking
dog?
hate niggas like these. So,
What kind of niggas are these?
this nigga is good looking.
Yeah.
He's got money,
Yeah.
nice cars, big house, fucking healthy. He gyms, look at him.
He's got everything.
He's got everything, dog. He's probably packing. You packing, ne? Yeah, he looks like he's packing. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he said Dindo at that, right? He wasn't joking.
That is the old shit. This old shit you're talking about.
And some of us, we are broke, we are ugly, got no money, nothing. You know what I mean, dog? It's crazy. Like, you know, they say that you can't have everything, but from my eyes, dog, you've got everything, bro. You can sing, you can act.
I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that.
What's missing now? What don't you have that you want to have?
What I don't have that I want, because I do acting and music, is an American gig. In fact, not America necessarily, but an overseas gig.
International.
You know what I mean?
Global.
If I can get that David Guetta vocal feature.
Oh,
You know,
shit.
or I can get that supporting role, not even on a movie, but on a Grey's Anatomy. You know,
Yeah.
even if it's 5 calls. You know what I mean? That's basically where.
But
over and above business in the respected crafts that I do, that's where I'm looking at right now. I mean, I've bagged two international shows already now with the Netflix and
the series.
Yes.
Jiva,
Jiva, yeah.
BET Tisono. So already there's progress
Starting to happen.
But it doesn't seem hard, bro, because like Nomzam was doing it. There's so many guys doing it that side.
It's actually more difficult than people think. Dog.
For real?
It is quite difficult. I think even in the music front, it's not like you can just call someone there that wants to plug you. To be honest, if you have to ask me what the process is, I don't know. Because a lot of people that actually end up with these international gigs or nominations, they don't really share their secrets. No one knows how they did it, you know?
But don't you think the same thing that you did here, you just apply the same method but at another country?
Yeah, I suppose. I was actually having this conversation 2 weeks ago with a friend of mine saying, if you want to do that, you have to be okay with being a nobody there.
Yes, you see.
Yeah, how you started here, going to Joe's Butcher and Alex and singing and everyone just looking at you thinking,
You sang at Joe's Butcher?
man. Dog, I used to have people
with
looking at
Tonic.
me, dog, like,
I remember.
I don't even look good, wala. Sekuyaculwa manje la kwaJoe. Man, drunk people bephethe ingudu,
And you need to keep singing.
And then, uba now ucula
And you,
yaculwa kwaJoe Shaipi, yalacula man.
Ngapha you're trying to hit the chorus.
And they used to give me shit, dog.
But anyway, where does your journey start, man? Why do you and your mother relocate to Joburg from PE?
It's for the typical thing. I wouldn't call it the American dream, but Joburg, land of opportunities, right? So she was doing a nursing back then, and she moved to Joburg, 91. I was 2 years old then.
Yeah.
And she started a life working at Joburg Gen Hospital, you know? And yeah, I was just a kid went to Yeovil Boys Primary School, was wandering the streets of Joburg, you know?
Yeah.
And Hillbrow was still, I think even in those times, it was starting to transform, but it wasn't what Hillbrow is now. You know what I mean? But it was still a night.
He stays in Hillbrow now.
Do you stay in Hillbrow?
It's a dump, yeah. But I love it. Well, I don't love it, but yeah. I stay there. What the hell, man? What the hell, man? Put him in the corner.
I mean, nothing wrong with people that live in Hillbrow, dog.
No, look, I think Hillbrow, right? Everybody who stays in Hillbrow knows that it's not
I
like...
fucking stayed in Hillbrow, dog.
Yeah, you in 91,
so there ain't
though.
shit wrong if you stay there. I'm just saying, that's where I started.
In 91, though. Right? It's 30 years later.
Dog,
30 years later.
I didn't have money. I was living with my mom's.
Well, it's not what it used to be.
Yeah, no, Hillbrow's.
Where's your dad at this time?
Dad is in Grahamstown. He lives there. He's always been there. He's a businessman, runs a couple of businesses that side. So he's passionate. It's those guys that grew up in a small town that never want to leave a small town. So he's there. Every now and then I go through and I see him. Yeah. My dad owns like a spot. Like the name of his place is Cool Spot, and he's got a place just 2 minutes away called Jazz Corner.
Yeah.
So the perks for him, but it's a con for me, is that he asks me to perform for free, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to fly my team to PE, 7 guys, book them accommodation in Grahamstown, 7 guys, perform, pay them for their freaking performance, and then my dad doesn't pay me shit.
And so did they split up, or like they were still together, your parents?
No. They've been split up for as long as I can remember, yeah.
Oh, so
but they themselves have a relationship. And I have a relationship with each of them. So
good.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
And how was it when you went to Edenvale High? How was that like?
That was dope, man. That's where I really started excelling in sport. So at some point I thought I'd be professional soccer.
This fucking guy, you good at sports?
Or cricket, yeah.
Rugby.
Yeah, dog. I played with George Maluleka, Keegan Ritchie. We played competitive soccer back in the day.
Whoa.
In fact, I played for Edenvale Football Club. Besides school, I played for Edenvale Football Club. And the league we were in was a development league. So we played against Pirates, Sundowns, Swallows, all these development teams. Wow. But I don't know, after matric, I just decided to take a year off. And I think in that year that I took off, everyone that was playing soccer or cricket or rugby avidly went further. And because I took the gap year, I would have to start again at club level in order to do trials to be able to make Sundowns or Gauteng cricket or SA invitation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I got back, I was like, there's no ways. I'm just going to go study music, dog.
So you were playing soccer. Soccer was the main thing.
Soccer and cricket were the main
Soccer and cricket,
yeah.
ne? What position in soccer?
9.
9? Oh, you're a striker. I know. Makes sense. Makes sense.
I played striker, dog.
Because he's always scoring.
Is he? He's talking about scoring gigs. I perform a lot.
Oh, shit. And then what team do you like? Local? Pagani.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I own a gym that's black and white. It could never be yellow.
Cheers. And then internationally?
Internationally, I'm Liverpool FC.
Oh, Liverpool.
In England. In Spain, it's Real Madrid. And I just followed Ronaldo. I don't support Juventus, but I love him. So you could say it's Juventus too.
The guy's a machine, man. He reminds me a lot like you, bro.
He's crazy, dog. He's crazy. Just always perfecting his craft.
So you've spoken about music a lot. When does the acting bug bite you?
It was around about the same time, actually. I got into acting first.
Okay.
2010, September. I had initially auditioned for the character of Nicholas on Generations. That was played by Tata Mlamo. I didn't get that role. A few months later, I auditioned for Generations, and I got the MJ role.
Yeah.
That was September of 2010, a few months after my first single ever, Move, with Altonic, came out on radio. So no one really knew me or Altonic. The song made it to radio on merit.
Yeah.
But the guys were like unknowns. Then shot a video, which got some rotation. Still, it was a bit tough, you know? Then got the Generations gig. Started shooting, then people were struggling to connect the dots because MJ on Generations didn't have ink because the production wanted to cover it because my character was too young. But Naak on the music side had a tattoo. So there was that thing that it's not him until my character on Generations had a tattoo. And they finally revealed this because it was costing the production too much to cover. Then when those people connected the dots, that this guy is this guy, that's when everything started.
And what did you study for? Did you study?
Studied music.
You studied music.
Oh, snap. Yeah, I studied
wait.
music. RJ Benjamin Damlin. That particular Damlin in Bramley did sound engineering. It did music. It did interior design. So it was more art. It wasn't your typical one where you could do business courses and stuff.
Did you study a particular instrument, vocal?
No, I studied contemporary music vocals. Yeah. But part of that is like practical keys, learning to read and write music. You know, ask me that now, I don't know shit. I haven't had to apply it, I just repeat. Move your body, shank into the left.
Hey.
What music must I apply there? No, I'm joking. But yeah, I don't remember everything about being in music school. So I do know some music theory. I can read and write music. But I could never tell you that this is a C note or whatever, judging by what he's playing, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know enough about music, you know. I love it, I'm passionate about it.
Are you particular with who you work with? Because you've worked with everybody, man. Like Heavy K,
no.
Coffee, Cuba.
Cuba, yes, I worked with Cuba.
Yeah.
No, I'm not particular at all with who I work with. I think there's a lot of unknown talent. In fact, a lot of the songs I producers that I release are producers that are unknown. So I'm free to work with anyone. I think the DJs and producers and artists I've worked with in the past, it's been very informal. It's never been like a label speaks and both labels meet and we sign contracts. It's us literally saying, yo, man, I fuck with your music, dog. That song you just released. And I'm like, I'm a fan of you too, dog. Let's work. Yeah. Most of my collaborations have been that way.
Is it true that with Yini, it was supposed to be on your album and then Heavy K took it and there was like tensions?
There wasn't tension in Heavy K, dog. When I saw, how do you know these things? What
do you mean? I've been in the game, man. I know people.
And that's a dope song, Yini.
Yeah, we recorded that song. We recorded that song at Cuba's house.
Yes, Heavy K was still staying with Cuba.
Heavy K was still staying with Cuba at the time. Then we were delaying recording, man, for the album. It was Respect the Drum Boss, the very first one. And this around 2014, 2015, and Heavy K said his album is wrapped. And I said to him, okay, cool. Let's record anyway. We'll see what we do with the song. I might just release it as my single. And then he said, okay, cool. Let's do it. You know, we recorded the song in Cuba studio and it sounded freaking amazing. I remember the next day, in fact, I left in the AMs and the next day at 6:30, I had to shoot at Generations. Shot there, couple of scenes, went back to Cuba's house to listen to the song. By the way, this is not a vocal I had made up on that day. It's a vocal I had prior. You know these songs that you record and they stay on your laptop?
Yeah.
Stay in the computer. So I was like, let me try this vocal. Only the hook was something that existed. So I recorded the hook and it fit perfectly. Then I created a verse for it. You know? Hey, dog, suddenly Heavy K say, hey, ndithetile no-Oskito mchana. U-Oskito ingazi likhona ithemba yoba ingene ingoma yethu kwi-album yam. So it was like a mindfuck on some, you need to be excited about this shit, nigga. You can make the album. I was like, no, dog, I like the song for me. The song is actually a smash and I want it for myself. You know? He's like, no, man, but it's fine, dog. We'll record other songs. And, you know, I had a conversation with Tira and I was like, nah, I'll make a lot more of these, man. You know, if I didn't believe that I could make more hits, then I'd really fight this. But I believe that I've got quite a lot of hits in me still, you know. So I was like, cool.
So by now you were signed to Tira.
I was not signed with Tira then, but I was working with him. I was going to Durban.
Oh, yes.
That's what Tira does. He susses you out. He brings you to one studio session. Or at least that's how it was with me, because he did not discover me on Idols or
before
YouTube videos.
Before we talk about Tira, Heavy K, we had him last week. And he mentioned a story about Vivian. Do you know Vivian?
No, I don't know Vivian. Who's Vivian?
His girl, the one that was like sleeping with him when he was homeless and stuff.
No.
You don't know Vivian?
He's the girl that was his wife.
Yeah.
No, not wife, not baby mama, no.
The first
girl he
that
fell in
dated
love with.
when he came to Joburg.
And she was an industry chick. Like, she hung out with a lot of industry guys.
Yeah.
Maybe if I see her, I'll know her.
Oh, yeah.
She hung out with you guys, Libo, Aifani.
I didn't hang out with my funny dog. When did I hang out with my funny? Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait, dog, I've got no issue. Stop laughing like this, dog. You're making it seem like there's an issue with Ifani. There's nothing wrong with him. Oh, come on, dog. You guys are... Hey, so, dog, relax. Okay. No, I've got no issue with Ifani. I think he's great. But I'm saying, I didn't hang out with Ifani. There were days where I hung out with DJ Zandy.
Yes.
Early. And he was hanging out with Ifani.
Yes.
So maybe, perhaps, I don't remember, we chilled a few times.
There's been that many girls. You don't even remember, bro.
What do you mean girls? I'm talking about Heavy K and Ifani now. What do you mean? This guy. We're talking about Heavy K and Ifani, talk. I don't know who Vivian is. I don't remember. Show me Vivian.
Show me the receipts. Okay, cool. All right, back to Tira. How's it like working with him? Because I once did an interview with, who's that?
What's this Chichi's Little Tira?
Oh, little Tira.
The cat's on the wall. Do you want to come say hi on camera, Chichi?
Come say hi on camera,
Come say
Gigi.
hi. Come say hi quickly.
She's shy.
Yeah.
I like her dad.
Where's your dad? Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah,
This is
what's...
what happens, by the way.
Yeah.
The dad and her and the sons, everyone just strolls in.
Yeah, because it's not far from here, ne?
That's right, yeah.
That's dope. Listen, yeah, because I was interviewing Chili M, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, no, Tira only likes to work with people that are hot at the moment. Like, if you are old news, you're old news. He's always looking for whoever's hot at the moment. And you've got a good relationship with him. How's it like working with him?
It's good. Tira's taught me a lot, man. His work ethic is insane. I would think, actually, part of my work ethic stems from when I started with him back in 2013, you know? He asked me one day, so how many gigs do you have on Friday? I said, he asked me, are you busy on Friday? I said, yes.
At Joe's Butcher.
No, it was after the Joe's Butcher stage. Yeah, I was a little bit better. But he asked me, are you busy on Friday? And I said, yes, I am. He goes, okay, what are you doing? I said, I've got a gig out in Moloko in Pretoria at 8 o'clock. He goes, okay, and then? I was like, and then nothing. That's all I have. He goes, so what do you mean you're busy? I said, well, I'm busy. I've got a show. And then he laughed at me. He's like, okay, cool. So, what time did you say Moloko was? I said 8. What time are you leaving? I was like, I'm performing 8 to half 8, so it should be done by 8:45. He goes, great. At 5, you're going to be here till 6. When you're done at Moloko, drive to Polokwane. There's going to be a gig there. Then the last gig is going to be at a place called, what was it called again? Was it Ink?
Club Ink, yes.
Oh, Ink.
Yes, I remember, yeah.
One of those clubs. He said, that's the last gig at about 4 a.m. You're going to be there.
Shit.
And I think that time I was still charging about probably like $8,000 or something to gig. And I had 4 of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
In one night.
In one night. That was new for me because I was still new in Generation. So I was still getting that salary from Generation. So any extra thing was amazing for me. And that nigga got me 4 gigs in one night, dog. You know what I mean? And he's like, dog, you've just got to manage your time.
How much was the Generations gig?
Generations, dog. We left Generations because it wasn't paying us. So you can imagine when I started how much they were paying us.
How much was it?
I started in 2010 and I finished in 2014. No, didn't finish, got fired.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we found out, like, man, it's like what the main cast was earning. Your
Karabo Morogo.
Sophie Ndaba.
Connie.
Because Karabo wasn't there at the time. Remember the Sophie?
okay.
The giants then were Menz Ngubane, who played Ngamla. Yes. Nambita, who played Mawande.
Jack Mabasa.
Jack came in towards the end, but Sputla came, who was Kenneth.
Yes.
But even their salaries, obviously when the issues arise, we all walked out of a contract negotiation very upset.
Just move closer to the mic. Yeah.
We all walked out of a contract negotiation very, very upset. You know, and it turned out that each actor was upset that they said, you've done well this year, this is what happens, this is what happened, you did this, you're always on time at work, we loved your work ethic, so the action we choose to go with here is a praise and raise. All right, cool. Thank you very much, I'm glad you guys liked my work. So what's the raise? Then they say 5%. Then you're like, oh. So I'm getting what? Like 2,000 more.
Yeah.
And they made it a big thing. And it turns out everyone that walked out of that meeting had kind of agreed, but wasn't happy. Then we decided that, no, guys, it's been going on for long enough. We have to speak to these guys, you know? Then we started doing our own research as to what industry peers are making. And
When you say we, are you talking about the other actors?
the other cast, the other principal cast. And we asked industry friends, who I cannot mention because they actually really helped us with this information. And we found out that, like, for example, if the lead that has been working on Generations for multiple years is earning 80 on a show like Generations that is under SABC and has a way bigger budget than a show on ETV
100%.
like Scandal or Rhythm City. So if the lead there is earning 40,000 Rand more than a lead at Generation, there's something wrong there.
Makes no sense.
You understand? And I remember there was a huge uproar with the industry, with the social media saying that, Haribo, the person that gets paid the most, that gets 80,000 Rand, and these people are complaining, these people are stingy as fuck. But do you know the fame that comes with being on Generation at that time? I'm not talking about this new one, dog. Then, 11 million viewers a night, dog. There's no black person in this country that doesn't know you. You can even add a couple of colored Indians and whites. Everyone knew you if you're on Generation.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it came with the fact that we cannot use taxis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can't.
And as exaggerated as this sounds, you needed security most places you were going to.
Wow.
Because SABC One is free TV, dog. Everyone has SABC
Access,
One.
yeah.
Everyone knows you. From a 2-year-old to a 102-year-old. Everyone knows you, dog. You know what I mean? So people thought 80,000 was a lot, but there was a lot that came with it. Like medical aids. We don't get public holidays as actors, by the way. When the whole country's celebrating something and people are at home, we're waking up in the morning going to shoot. So there were things like that justified why we wanted to raise. Those people said, no way. You guys ain't getting shit. What we offered you is what you take or is what you leave.
How much were you
Then
getting?
all of us said, I so I'm shit.
He looks like a 40-50.
Dog, this guy asked me 3 times.
You told us you were charging 8K, so I was like, okay, he's comfortable telling us how much it costs.
A gig.
Yeah.
But we know, dog, when we start gigging, it's never a lot of money, you know?
True.
But Generation wasn't much more than that, a salary. I'm just going to say that.
Yo, for real?
Yeah, well, it definitely wasn't 10K more than that.
Bro, that sounds like greed, because
Now you can imagine the amount of fame. Can you imagine walking out into a mall, everyone crowding you, pulling you left, right, and center, and by the 18th, 19th of a month, now you're counting what's left.
Yeah, true.
So you're saying, okay, so I'll fill up. I drove a Polo Player at the time. 2011, 2012. There's an 800 here. This could fill the Polo. This, if I drive normally, properly, could last me between the 18th and the last.
Dude, you're on fucking Generations.
Yeah, I'm on Gen A. I'm on a huge show. Huge show. Now I'm gauging that, okay, 18 today, I'm left with literally this amount of money. If I put 800 Rand in here, I can get a full tank, and if I drive properly, it'll last me till I get paid again. Then I'll be able to have petrol.
Jeez.
Then you start like getting essentials, your
Food.
bread, butter, food, 200 Rands worth of noodles. You know, affordable, and they fill you up. Then you go to work. If you have breakfast at work, you ask the auntie there to please make you another one, and then she puts it aside. When you have lunch, you ask the catering auntie to please make you a second one. Then when they knock off catering, when they're done, they give it to someone that's going to give it to me. I then go to the car, head home. You understand? I won't be unfair and say the reason on the 18th I had little money was because they were paying me so little. I didn't have many expenses. It was also me being new to this life.
Yeah.
I had never gotten that much money per month before. So yes, as much as they paid me little, I was new and I was having a good time.
Bro, it sounds like exploitation, because how much money is Generations making, bro?
How much is Mfundi making?
How much is Mfundi making, bro?
Bro, like probably 500 million a year.
Shit.
500 million.
Yeah, bro, like lots of monies. I stand to be corrected, but it's
Yeah.
it's in those regions. It's a
And
lot
the least he can do is just pay the people that are making
money.
his product a success.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and we're in the forefront of that. We go through everything.
Yeah, when he goes
if
to a
you
mall, he can do whatever he wants. No one gives a
no
fuck.
one knows. Chances are people don't even know. You know what I mean? So that was our issue there. And there's a lot of things we discovered. We discovered that part of the money that the SABC makes, a percentage of that has to go to the principal cast members there. And that didn't happen. And so over and above us we were fighting because we'd gotten fired, no warning. So that was the first thing, after we'd been promised 3-year contracts. So that's the first battle. The second battle, which we couldn't even get to yet because we needed to finish this one, was the fact that these guys have been getting royalties, dog, and they're supposed to be paying us a certain percentage, and it's just not. You know? And then we had people from SABC having meetings with us on the side, saying that it's unfair what the SABC is doing to you, and I'm going to be at every single meeting that you guys hold to assist you guys, so that we can fight this and win this. And then we went to the CCMA, and that guy was like, "What? I was never at nobody crib. I don't know these guys. What? Whose house? I was never at nobody crib. I didn't meet with these guys. I don't know shit." I'm sure there's a meme of Menz and Gubane, Zolisa who played Jason, Mandla who played Chopper. There's a meme of them.
Yes, there is a meme. That shocked look
where they're all looking back. Yeah. When that nigga said, "Who?
Oh,
Where?"
that meme.
I don't know anything about what these guys are talking. Everyone turned around and then, Father, with confidence, dog. Yeah, so basically, based on what you said last night, can you imagine we're at a restaurant for the second night in a row? We're giving up time, dog, just to be here, to try and sort this out so we can get our monies. Yeah, and this guy's like, "Okay, cool. So what did you discover today, Sophie?" Anga, any words? Menzi, Nambita, Great, I hear you. So my suggestion is that ABCD. Fana, when he leaves, we stay at the restaurant, we're thinking, God damn, we're gonna get fucking paid, dog. Shit. Yeah, CCMA, that nigga said, "Nah, these guys are lying." We don't know shit about what they're saying. And we were like, whoa.
Yeah. Do you think
and it affected, I'm not gonna lie, it affected majority of that cast. It fucked us up like hardcore, dog. That's what some people have been on the show 10 years, some 20.
100%. They were the fabric of the show.
Yeah, some 20. I mean, if you didn't watch Generations, you listen to it. If you had the duty of washing dishes, you are satisfied with just hearing it. And that's how big that show was, So people depended on that, and then suddenly it was stripped from everyone.
Do you think it's a SABC problem or it's a Mfundi Vundla issue?
Look, production companies get from channel.
Yeah.
Right? They present a case.
Yes.
I want 10 million from my show. The lead actor throughout the year will be getting 2 million from that 10 million. The lead actress, 2 million from that 10 million. Supporting this much, boom swinger, head director. So that 10 million is justified to the channel.
Yeah.
Then they finally audition and they grab the character that they want and they say to him, "Listen, it's a big show, but it's the first season. Therefore, we only have 500,000 rand for you, man. If there's a season 2, we could jack it up to 657. You know what I mean? If this thing is successful after 8 seasons, fuck it, bro. You could be getting $1 million. So even after 8 seasons, they're saying this guy that they're cheating may get $1 million, which is R1 million less than what he's just supposed to be getting for getting that role. But we will never know because we are not in those meetings. Neither do we have the right to be in those meetings. Neither do we have the right to know what was discussed in those meetings. So how are you going to say, it's 2 million that I'm supposed to be getting? You don't know shit.
You don't know shit.
So from the time you start in your first month working there, you're already screwed. You know what I mean? You're already screwed, dog. And you will never know. So if they start you off at 15 and you're supposed to be at 35, only in 5 years' time will you be close to that 35. Can you imagine how much profit they've made off you by then? You know what I mean?
And that's just one person.
And that's just one person, yeah. So we find these things out when we were at war with Generations then that, industry peers with lesser positions or, on lesser shows that are getting less of a budget than Generations are earning more.
What do you think about Generations now?
I watched the first episode because I wanted to see after we were fired.
Legacy.
Never seen it again. I went to Durban. Let me tell you something. I went to Durban once. Then. Yini.
Yeah.
And SABC One was there. So prior to us getting fired, SABC One pays for you to go to Durban July hotel. They give you a young 10K for being present at the marquees. You know, all of that shit. So it was one of those, but now I was a fully fledged member of Afrotainment. So I was in Durban anyway, regularly there. Yeah. But we go to Yini, and Yini is hosting SABC One people for something that was happening that weekend, and I happened to be there with Afro. So I obviously know the ladies and the guys that used to get us on these trips.
100%.
So I start greeting, how are you guys? I miss you so much. And she literally says, you know, so-and-so. And I go, oh no, what's up, man? How are you? You know? She goes, how are Anga? I go, what do you mean? Who is he? She goes, he's on Generations, the legacy. I go, and I don't watch it, dog.
Yeah.
I barely watched my Generations. You think I was gonna watch this? She made it seem like maybe I was acting fresh because they're the new guys on Generations now, but I genuinely didn't know, dog. You know what I mean? I didn't know. So I don't know. I can't give you an answer, but I think of the new generations. I don't know shit about it, dog.
Would you go back?
I would never.
For real?
I would never, dog. I'd never go.
Fully sit down with
do you know? And do you know why? Not that. First of all, this generations will never be what that one was. We grew up with that one.
Yeah.
Then there was a break. Then there was a change. You understand? So it's not what it used to be. That's the first reason. I dreamt of being on the generations I watched growing up, and I ended up on there.
Yeah.
You understand? So now this one, it's pretty pointless to go back. You know what I mean? So in terms of going back there, not never. And also, generations then was very finicky about letting us do other work. You know, live was changing to live amp. You know, I wanted to be one of the guys presenting that show.
You would have killed it, dog.
You know what I mean? Some people from live asked me, hey, who do you think should be on? I suggested a couple of names. I said, hey, I want to try that shit. They were like, actually, we didn't think you'd suggest yourself. Come through. Told generations, they were like, what time is live? I said, 8:30. When does it play? On a Friday. 8:30 to what time? I said 9. They said no. I said, why? And by the way, then you don't know your rights. You're very new. You understand? So you're very intimidated by anyone that's above you, the powers that be.
100%.
You don't challenge them. I said, why? I said, no. Bro, generations starts at 8, finishes at 8:30 to 9. You're someone else right after our show. It may just dent our numbers or just, you know, and then I don't know any better. So I'm like, no, but it's completely different. You know, I'm a presenter there. Here I'm acting. I said, no, you're known as MJ. That's the brand we're trying to push with you right now. You cannot be on that show. You know what I mean? So not only with live amp, I'm talking about modeling gigs on a weekend that can pay you an extra 20,000 over and above this fucking whack ass salary they're giving us. You know what I mean? They tell you, no, I just want Monday off between 6:30 and 8:30, and then I will be here by 9 or 9:30, I promise. They say no, you get the 9:30 or 6:30 on Monday, and you only start shooting at 10:30. And you think to yourself, 25,000 rand.
Gone.
That could have just changed my situation right now. Could have, you know what I mean? So there were those politics as well, you know, that's also what wouldn't make me go back. I don't know how they are now. But also actors are a lot vocal now. They can say, listen, I asked you for 50 grand when we were negotiating contract, you opted to give me 30, and I said to you, as a result of you giving me 30, I'll take it because I want the opportunity, but I will get other work to make up for what you're not paying me on the side. So these days, it's a lot better. Productions still hold that power over actors, but there's a little more leniency than there was 10 years ago when we were doing Generations.
How was life after Generations? Because now you're a household name. Like you said, you can't get into taxis. Like, we now know you, bro.
Yo, it happened. So just after we got fired from Generations, round about that time, I was hanging out with Tira a lot. So I'd been hanging out with him a lot before, but this is when he showed interest now. Now it looked like a possibility. Oskido was talking about it on his Metro FM show that, hey, I'm seeing this young boy and Tira hanging out a lot. I know my boy Tira is probably going to sign him. Yeah, well, then someone was playing dirty at that time. There were articles surfacing about people in the cast. So-and-so was dating someone that was dating this guy. And he were dating the same person for this long. And we were like, yo. Someone was like, but this is, and you'd find one of the cast members crying because this was such an old story. Why is it resurfacing? Then we realized someone in power is playing dirty.
It's a smear campaign.
And then when it got round to me, it was that, that's good, it's good. It was that what you see between Naak Musiq and Tira isn't what it really is. Tira actually, as a result of Naak Musiq getting fired, does not want to associate himself with him anymore. His friends are turning on him. His family is very disappointed that he managed to get fired. And I was like, wow, damn. Then on my part, I was fine with it because they were just lying. We had our agreement and we knew what was coming. We had call out waiting. Hey!
We call out.
So when those articles came out, we were sending call out back and forth to mixing and mastering. So I was relaxed at the time because and everyone was like saying, yo, for real. I was like, guys, media, just relax. It's a war. It's generations versus the 16. You know what I mean? So things are gonna surface and stuff like that. So that happened. But I was, like I said, I wasn't concerned because I was sending the biggest song of my career back and forth for mastering.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So regardless of what the papers were saying and people believing them, I knew that, well, you're all in shit in about 2 weeks' time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And boom, call out released 2 weeks later. We had a bit of a distraction. Every hit has a distraction.
Yeah.
And the distraction at that time was Goze Goose. Mondli.
Mondli, yeah.
Who did you do it with again? Merlin, eh?
Yeah.
Melon, DJ Melon, yeah.
That was the disturbance. So people were talking about that song a lot, and we were like, Ish. We do that as musicians. We want to know what's big now. You know, and sometimes there's nothing big, you drop, then suddenly there's a fucking big song. Yeah. Damn, now it's like, okay, we might be second. So that was happening then, but I think those songs really competed that year, and it did well for me. I had 44 shows that December.
Wow.
44 gigs.
At 8,000, how much is that? 44 gigs at 8,000?
He's not charging 8,000
by them because
it's not 8,000.
I mean, also how you justify why you charge what you charge as an artist is, well, I've got a song that's out right now, and it is currently top 10, and it has been in the top 10 for a couple of weeks. And if you look on social media, everyone's singing it. So that was the justification for us to finally jump from a certain amount to a certain amount.
And you used to be on
and
the
in order for
biggest
you to
shows.
stay at the amount you jumped to, you've got to be consistent in studio.
True.
Because once you start enjoying the fruits of what this big song is getting you, you neglect there, you enjoy the money, then the song naturally, like every song, starts dipping, and then you go in there in a rush, and then you release, and then people go, yeah, not
Because you're
quite.
chasing after
Not quite call out. You know? So that's what I also learned from Tira and Afrotainment, is that even if an album comes out today with 20 songs, that man is still in studio tonight.
Wow.
Adding 5 more that may even release next year, but he wants them there, ready. Because a hit is not hard, it's not easy to come by. Every song you record is not a hit, dog.
Yeah.
So the more you record, the more likely you have a chance to get a hit. Every 10 songs you record, one of them has got
Potential.
the potential to be something nice. So do you understand how many songs you have to record to get something that people will download and will actually get you money? It's a mess, dog. It's not easy.
You said Call Out was the biggest hit of your career. Why are you saying that?
Huge. I think the deals that came about with Call Out, you know, we had the DSTV deal, even the bookings. You know, I think in that December, it was like over $1 million.
Bro, the
You know what I mean?
energy of that song, bro.
It's crazy.
Have you seen that song like at a stadium? Obviously, you perform it, bro.
I perform it, dog. Still, 2021. Still. And that's what I've actually, someone said this, I performed on Wednesday night at some club in Benoni, and Kabza played before me. You know, and we love talking about music and what's in now, and we're honest.
Yeah.
Amapiano is in now. I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like when Kabza plays. You know what I mean? And naturally, people started coming in. Kabza played. It's that familiar face. This is the Kabza that everyone's talking about. People moved closer. Phones out, right?
Yeah.
Started listening, jamming. And my DJ was like, yeah, this is nice. It's nice. I mean, you can see these people really like him. We like analyzing things like that, you know? Then last 20 minutes of Kabza set, shit really started popping off. Yeah, well? And again, I will say, as an artist, you wonder what your performance is going to be like when you see a good one. You wonder. It's a lie to say, nah, I'm chilled. we're good. We'll be fine. You sit there and you wonder that, oh man, am I going to be the guy that comes in there and fucking kills this energy?
Yeah, kills the party.
When I come on, is everyone going to decide to go on a bathroom break? Yeah, man, the dog happened. And please, can you please hold on to this thought? Ne? I'm going to carry on with the story. Yeah. I performed at Sumo once. It was Babes and Mampi.
Yeah?
Understand? Hey, Fana. Yeah, so Babes. I'm Fana. I'm one of my friends. And it's the first time I'm telling the story to anyone. We were at Sumo, Babes and Mampincha. I mean, they were huge at that time.
Yeah.
They went on and performed. Alessio came to me, said, yo, bro, you're going on after them. I said, shut. It's Sumo. It's a small club gig.
It's intimate.
So I don't need the band and the dancers. So I see the teddy bears. Remember the thing with Cleo? Yeah. Yeah, I saw those guys. I know them, man. So I speak to them. Yo, boys, after you do Babes, let's perform some shit, They said, no, it's a song, it's a song, And then they jet off again to Mampincha and Babes. Yeah, well, then Mampincha and Babes, it's time to perform. I know, Vela. Babes looking sexy, with the staff. She came through, started doing her shit. Everyone phones out. Yeah, but still no cause for alarm.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I'm thinking, shit, Naak music, I'm fine. I'm good. I've got the ladies support.
Yeah.
They finished their set. Alessio's like, bro, we've got to start playing hip hop now, man. So just do your 15 minutes so we can get hip hop. People pop bottles when hip hop plays. It's just the fucking lifestyle of a club. So they try and shoo out the house shit quickly. All the time. You know what I mean? I'm not even lying to you, dog. Like, promoters or event or club owners, the house music, when it gets to that, dog, especially with the more lifestyle clubs, your Sumos, your Cocos in Cape Town, hip-hop is what makes the ballers spend. I house the fire. Hey, your father wants papaya for and Taylor. So they try and get us out. I went on stage, dog, with my DJ. First of all, my song started playing. I'm looking for those dancers now because I'm thinking, yeah, man, everyone's leaving the dance floor almost now. And that time Alessio's gone. I can't see Alessio either. I'm thinking, where's Alessio? I'm thinking 30 minutes more. People are going to the bathroom and shit. Alessio, what day? Oh, Alessio, what tell manager I am? Because he wasn't talking to me, his boy. My manager came back and said, hey, that man doesn't even want to look at me. He says we must perform now or must leave this whole thing. I was like, yeah. Dog, I'm fully fledged Naak here. I'm not that one in the beginning. Fully fledged. Years into the game, I've had a couple of hits now. Shit. And people they just sat there. And Babes and Mampincha were supposed to perform for 15. They performed for 40. So you can imagine those people thought they were going to be there for 15, ended up being there for 40. Some are thirsty. Some need to pee. Some want to go smoke a blunt. Some want a smoking break in general. So when Alessio plugged me in there, it was like, fuck. Everyone bounced, dog. Wow. But you know what? I performed with my whole heart, dog. And I will always do that. I will never allow myself to be embarrassed.
You're a professional.
I performed, they're happy. Anyway, Kabza performs. Last 20 minutes, he's killing it. Yeah, well, my DJ starts playing. Yeah, well. I said to my manager, what's happening there? Yeah, well, because I had an early call time on Thursday morning, 6:30. Now it's going for 11. Yeah, well, and I haven't read my shit, so I still have to come home to read. So I had to go immediately after Kabza. You know what I mean? DJs plays the first song, Sinenkani, with Destruction Boys. People hear it, they start screaming. I'm in the back kitchen. There's a small door that leads to the street, so I can't see the reaction. I can't see if people are screaming from where they're sitting or if they're moving forward to the stage. I finally opened the door just before I started singing. Final. It was a fucking litty. Lit, dog. Everyone. And then I realized, even when there's a new era of music, it does nothing to the fucking amazing music you've done over the last 10 years. It does nothing. It's a reminder to the people that, fuck, going to this guy. And people only realize how much good music you've done at a gig.
Yeah, true.
That's when they realize, because no one's gonna sit today and decide, oh, let me see what Naak Music's done over the last 11 years. No one does that on a daily basis. Everyone has a life. So a gig is a reminder that fuck, and every song I performed, it was
landing. It was landing.
Hits after hits.
every single song. And then I performed my new single, which actually dropped today.
Nice.
And boom, reaction was good. Reaction was good. Taught people the song, did it a second time, everyone sang along. And a part of me was like, fuck, remain consistent, do your thing, stay in your lane, and you'll be fine.
Would you dabble in piano?
I've actually got a song with PS DJs called Late Night, and I've got a song with Boiti.
Oh, Boiti.
Called
A piano.
Ndifuna Wena.
A piano.
Yeah, a piano song.
Boiti.
Wow.
Bash gave me that. It's produced by Kaybee Beast. Oh, Bash was playing that in his story. I think just before lockdown times. He was playing that in his story, and I said to Bash. And I was that typical guy that said, my piano, don't tell me about that. Bash played probably the first piano beat that I loved. And I was very vocal about me not liking Amapiano, by the way. I said it on social media, I don't understand this genre. It's very vulgar because it was not that soulful then. It was just swearing.
Yeah.
So I didn't have hope for it and I thought it wouldn't last. Till Bash played this beat. Asked him, who's this? He told me the producer, he sent it to me same time I recorded. So he said to me, okay, cool, we're going to have to put, naturally because he's Boiti's manager, let's put Boiti on. It's a good opportunity because she will want to collaborate with someone like Naak because she's just starting, and as well you would want to be on an Amapiano song. So it's experimental for all of us.
Yeah.
Let's try it. And look, I was never dropping a song for it to be a hit.
Yes.
I was dropping the song to show that, if I put my mind to it, I really can do it. I'm a musician, dog. Put me on an R&B song, I'll make a plan. I will not walk out there without a song.
You even did electro, dog.
Yeah, I did electro. I love all of that stuff, So yeah, I tried Amapiano, and I think the songs were decent, but it's still not a genre I love.
Yeah.
With all of my
Listen, bro,
time.
I got some questions from our chillers. Fuck. Are you ready for this one? Cool. Tell us about the beef with Prince Kaybee.
Shit, that started off very nicely. And I'm very comfortable talking about this, guys, because even me, I don't understand where it went wrong. You understand? Kaybee was always at Afro, and he was hanging out with Tira a lot, and I was with Tira a lot, and we did a couple of gigs together.
Is it?
And then I was on WhatsApp with Kaybee on a regular basis. And would argue about certain things. And then I don't know what it was about. I don't know what started it, but I remember, dog, if I consider you as my nigga, so I have to be able to tell you when you're doing something wrong or if I'm uncomfortable with a certain thing you're doing.
Otherwise,
in fact, if I don't tell you that, I don't consider you as my nigga.
Exactly, we're not boys.
You understand? So it was one of those situations. I don't even know what it was about with Prince Kaybee. But I remember just saying something and then him laughed. He laughed and said, hello, it's just me being competitive. You know what I mean? And I remember saying, oh, okay. But yeah, like I said, I don't remember what it was, but I remember saying that, dog, no, man. Just chill, be relaxed and stuff like that. Then it got a bit tense. Then we left it. And I remember I just bought this M6 that's outside here, né?
Hey, cheers,
And
I told you about the cars.
Levels.
And then I saw on Prince Kaybee's WhatsApp status. Yeah, well, he said, it had my car, not my specific car, but a M6. He had obviously downloaded the image from the internet and he put it up on his WhatsApp status. And he's like, Jesus Christ, this car looks like a boat. And he had that sign, like where you're throwing something in the bin.
Yeah, the trash.
It's an emoji, the trash emoji.
Yeah.
And I ended up laughing, say, LOL. If only you knew how much the extras alone on that car cost, it could probably buy a couple of your entry-level Mercedes-Benz cars. And again, that was banter.
It's just banter, yeah.
Boys banter. A lot, dog. I do it all the time, dog. I argue with Chiefs guys every day. If someone's not going to be talking to me the next day because I went hard at Chiefs,
But this sounds
that's gonna be awkward for me, dog. It's like eyeball.
This sounds childish, dog. It's like, whose dick is bigger? You know what I mean?
Anyway, so I left that.
Who is, man?
I left it, and then again.
Who do you think? Which dick do you think is
I'm
bigger?
not gonna think about this guy's dick.
Hey, Mesh, I'm going for him. Nah. Are you going for Kaybee?
Hey, Mona, you are going for who? you think you're out of it? Man. Anyway, so okay, cool. So that is not where the beef started, but I sensed a little bit of animosity. Then it got personal for some reason. I didn't understand why, and I left it. But I remember not too long after that sending a text to Prince Kaybee saying, "At the end of the day, be likable, my nigga. Just be a likable guy. I understand you being competitive and stuff like that, but be likable. You know, a lot of people will misinterpret the kind of person you are and they'll say you're an ass and stuff like that. Just be a likable nigga." And this was before Prince Kaybee started becoming this god on Twitter. This is long before that. You know, even like in our era, we didn't even have social media. We did have it, but it wasn't supporting music as much as it is right now. You know what I mean? So that was said, and I remember seeing a WhatsApp status saying, "Geez, it's always nice to see the haters surface, or really like expose themselves." You know what I mean? And I knew that was directed at me because I knew it was immediately after we had this, whatever this argument was. I don't even remember it. And then I was like, wow, I think I sent a laughing face or something.
What happened at the guest house? Because he came on the show and he said you guys were at the same guest house, like you're performing at a gig.
Nelspruit, I think it was either beginning of this year towards the end of last year.
Yeah, and he was ready for the fight.
You guys promised one another hands.
Yeah, he was ready.
I promised him.
Exactly.
What happened in Nelspruit?
No, I was booked at News Cafe in Nelspruit. He was booked at some place across the road from Nelspruit.
Yeah.
And that's it.
At the guest house, did you see him?
So he had obviously gotten to the hotel earlier than we did, but we got to the hotel at 3:30 a.m., dog. And his car was there. You know what I mean? And we were late. We came from a gig. I wasn't going to be like...
But let's be honest.
Hey, man, where's Prince Kaybee, man? Tell me where his fucking room is, man. Was I supposed to do that, dog?
But let's be honest.
Like, I want to give you hands because I think you're disrespectful at times. The way some of the things you say are unnecessary. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to go to the receptionist and say, "Where's Prince Kaybee? No. What room is he at?" And then go knock there and want hands.
Because he said he was ready for hands.
That's the thing, dog. Fair enough. I'm always going to be ready for hands as well. But, dog, Prince Kaybee's car was there. Was I supposed to search for him everywhere?
No.
You know what I mean? His car was there. I saw it. And in fact, I can even tell you, I parked right next to the door of the hotel, so the hotel lobby. You know why? Because obviously when he got there, I was still at my gig. So I knew that if he had woken up first, he would see my car there and he'd know that I'm there. Yeah. You know what I mean? But again, that wasn't for him to see it and then ask where Naak's room is. Oh, dog. When I see you, if I still feel the urge or the anger that I did at that time, I will do something about it. Again, if I see Prince Kaybee somewhere, if I'm having a good fucking jolly day, I'm not going to worry that people on social media will be like, you're a chicken. If I don't feel like doing anything that day, I won't, dog. Yeah. But that day I was pissed off. You know, and I wrote what I wrote. And I meant it at that time. You know what I mean? Not to say I don't mean it now, but if I see Prince Kaybee, dog, and the situation just doesn't allow, I'm not going to go there and kick him in the chest. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, in fact, that is the first time ever I had done anything of that caliber on the social media platform.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you
because you never get involved in those things.
As someone who knows me, or my fans rather, that were saying it that day, damn, you must have really said something intense for you to have annoyed this guy that much, you know? Someone posted a video of, again, a BMW SUV that was struggling to get up a hill, like an SUV is supposed to get up a hill, and then he said, that car's cock, like cock music. We all know he calls me cock music. And we all know my music's not cock, dog.
They call it cock music.
Maybe he calls me cock music because he knows it's not cock.
Where does your love for cars come from, bro?
Jeez. A friend of mine's Pee-wee actually was into BMW. His dad had every BMW under the sun. And his dad used to take me to work to school every day along with Spiwe. You know, so when I went to Spiwe's house, Spiwe had it all. Spiwe was that friend of mine whose house was big. His parents had these cars. So I'd always
Sounds like you.
I spent. Not yet. Not like Spiwe's parents. Spiwe's parents are like old money.
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, his dad would fix cars every day. And naturally, because I was around BMWs every day, I started favoring them. Someone asked you, what car do you like? It's BM. I didn't know at the time why. It was just because I was around Spiwe and his dad all the time. Then I started learning a lot more about the cars. And then I just told myself that, yeah, if I'm ever in a position to buy a BMW, I think I'll stick to that.
I like Merc, man.
I like them.
I like Merc, man.
That's bad.
For real?
You came in a Merc, yeah.
My father was rich.
Yeah, I was once rich. Let's leave that. I'm saying the time that car was popping, it was up against the Kusheshe. So, I mean, even 83, dog, that thing was never on our level, dog. Even in 83, it was never. Dog, even Prince Kaybee's cars, they are slow, very slow cars. Very, and this is not a beef. This is banter. This is like, I say this to anyone. Dog, Black Coffee said to me one day, man, me and you talk about racing each other all the time. I've never tweeted you something vulgar just because you said your car's better than mine. You know what I mean? I said, I know, right? I was never fighting with this guy, and then he just decided to come, you know?
Yeah. Is he a BMW fan?
No, he's a Merc fan.
He's a Merc fan.
Which is my point. He said he didn't understand why there was so much aggression over cars because I call him all the time saying, hey man, I see you just got a Lambo.
Yeah.
Let's smoke.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's what he was calling me about, that it happens all the time.